here today to just do a quick little video on kind of the reading challenges I'm going to be setting up for myself for 2020. As you know, this previous year I launched my channel and I didn't do a lot of reading challenges because I didn't want to put a lot of pressure on myself. I really wanted to kind of just iron out the wrinkles as I went and just get some good content out without putting myself under too much pressure. However, moving forward into 2020, I have decided that I will do a couple reading challenges. There's nothing going to specific about like the minimum numbers of books I want to read. Last year, I had just kind of set the base for myself as 24 books, reading 2 books a month, and I will continue to do that again this year. I know I'll get more consumed than that, but I don't want to feel like I feel like I need to rush to get books completed before December's up. And another goal of mine is to read some genres that I don't read as much of, just to expand my reading experience a little bit. In the previous video I put up, I kind of did a summary or retrospective on my year in reading for 2019, and I broke down what I read into genres, and it really put it into perspective about what I read and don't read. The majority of what I read was sci-fi fantasy, which isn't all that surprising. That's kind of what I grew up with. My dad was a big sci-fi fan, especially with the classics. My mom read a lot of fantasy to me as a kid, and Buddy read a lot of fantasy when I was growing up, so it's not surprising to me that those are my largest genres. However, I'm surprised at how little of everything else I read. I know I've had years that have been like really mystery thriller heavy, but this year wasn't really that heavy. I only read a handful and kind of the other genres. The ones that I want to kind of expand upon the most is nonfiction. This year I did get through about 6. However, that was because when Nonfiction November kind of rolled around as hosted by a Book Olive, I'll include a link above and below, that pushed me to really get into a few nonfiction novels, and I found several that I really enjoyed. I'd actually reviewed one of them, Moneyball, link above and below. They were kind of my first experience with nonfiction in a long time, but I intend to read more of that going through into 2020. The second genre I didn't really read a lot of was horror, which actually really surprised me. I read a lot of Stephen King as a teenager, and I really want to get back into reading and even rereading some of his books because I remember really enjoying most of them. And then the other two categories are literary fiction and chick lit. I did read a few more of the kind of like contemporary chick lit novels this year. I found that they were really good books to listen to at work. They were light, they were fluffy, they were easy to follow, not too attention and grabbing, so they did really well as audiobooks, and the narrators for the most part were really engaging. And then literary fiction just isn't as big of a genre that I typically read. If you have some suggestions for stuff that falls into this category, by all means, please leave a comment below and I will check the book out that you talk about. That's all I really have in terms of like personal growth expectations. Moving into my actual like challenges, there's only one I'm going to try participating in this year, and it's one that I've watched Emily Fox do, her channel, Books with Emily Fox. I'll include a link above and below for it. And I actually really enjoyed kind of how she did it and how she wrapped it up. And that's something that I'd like to do. What she did is she read the winners in the categories of the Goodreads Choice Awards. And she read the winners or runners-up if she'd read the winners. And then kind of at the end of the year did a wrap-up video about whether or not they deserved it or what her votes for each category were. And I'm really excited because it's a really good way to expand my reading experiences. And I think it'll be a really easy way for me to expand genres because I won't be wading through stuff that'll probably be really terrible. I'll have these options of books that are really well loved, and as long as they live up to the hype, should probably be really good reading experiences overall. Within all of this, my goals are really just to keep reading and keep enjoying reading and to find new authors and to finish series, to find new series, to find these standalones that I'll adore. And really, I want to have a good reading year, and I want to try to set myself up for the best experience possible, and that's kind of how I think I'll be able to do that, with both my personal expectations of how many books I'm going to read and expanding into genres I don't read regularly, along with the challenges like the Goodreads Choice Awards challenge. I think they're just going to be very good ways to get a good reading year out of 2020. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!